Hi guys, I'm Neo and today I'm going to be attempting to build a cloudbuster, and if you don't know what one of them is, go and do some research. Don Croft. There's a guy out there also on Instagram and Facebook named Napoleon Bonaparte, and they're fighting a war against chemtrails and chemical spraying. So today I'm going to be building a cloudbuster. It's taken some time to get all the materials together, and now I've got everything, so I'll run over what I've got and then we'll start the build. So I've laid everything out on the floor just so you can get an aerial view of everything. I'm going to be doing it over here on a table. So you're going to need 22mm copper pipe. I mean, it doesn't have to be 22mm, but that's what I'm going with because that's what most people use. Obviously you cut them down to size. Mine are like 1.5 meters, and then I've cut these like a foot long. You're going to need 6 connectors, that's to connect those pipes on afterwards, and then 6 stop ends, that's to stop resin flowing into the pipes, and then it fits into these holders. So you're going to need resin, you're going to need your holders and jugs, your pot for mixing it in and building it in. Then we've got these templates here, one for the bottom, one for the top, you'll see these, and that's another one I'm going to use just for holding it together at the top for now. You need some black oxide powder, metal oxide powder. I've got magnetite powder to mix in with the resin. Now apparently you need that, else it won't work correctly, so you must get that to put in with the mix. Safety glasses, some copper wire, a 22mm drill bit, so it'll go through there for that spade. Now that's going to be in the centre. That's a smoky quartz crystal I've got, and that's a magnet with some copper wire attached to it. We've got some selenite for in the mix, we have some magnets, and then we've got double terminated quartz crystals, some quartz crystal chips, and some rose quartz chips also. Then I've got a load of copper there, that's going to be for one of the mixes. Some sticks for steering the thingy, there's resin, and then you'll need a compass to draw everything out, to align all that. Okay, you can find diagrams online on how to do it. It's a geometric pattern in the shape of a flower, but you need the sizes of your bucket, and basically that bottom one has to fit pretty much at the bottom, and this has to fit tight at the top, and then we're designed to hold everything together while it's drying, while the resin's drying. I've got some wire wall to clean the pipes down with, some safety glasses, some gloves, and I can't find a 3M mask. I haven't got one about. I should have one really, but I'm outside, so hopefully everything will be okay. So those are roughly the materials you're going to need. Oh, sorry, I missed this out. That's 2 kilos of aluminium shavings. That's probably one of the most important elements in the mix to create this orgonite generator, and then that has to be buried into the ground and watered to earth it, but we'll go through that, we'll test it. I mean, if we look at the skies right now, not looking too brilliant. I doubt I'll be able to do anything today, but we'll start the build and see what happens. So the first thing I've done, I've assembled this. As you can see, I mean, you can fit them right into the bottom of the base, but I'm going to put some filings underneath there, and that'll lift it up from the bottom. It does fit right down into the bottom if you look in here, the test fit, and that goes right down to the bottom there. But I'm going to put the crystals down there, this is my first layer, and then some filings, shavings down the bottom of there, and then I'm having a coil wire that will come up the centre and connect with the main crystal, which we place near to the top. So yeah, they're all ready there, ready to fit in. Fits nice. And now I'm going to start placing some bits in the bottom, and then I'll mix the resin. I don't even know whether I've got enough resin, but hopefully there's enough materials there to fill this container out enough. If not, I'll stop after a few layers, and then I'll start again once I've got more resin. So I'll put my aluminium shavings into this bucket. It's quite a big bucket this is. I've got plenty of shavings here. There should be more than enough. Apparently it has to be at least 50% of the container, and hopefully you can fill up to 80. I think I'll have more than enough to do 80, and it's supposed to be 10% crystals and then 80% metals. So I'm going to use, because Napoleon Blown Apart recommends to use aluminium shavings, and the Don Croft build also recommends to use aluminium shavings, I'm going to use some copper in there in the build as well. But as long as you've got the iron oxide to mix in with the metal, everything should be good to create the Orgonite mix. So I've placed 4 crystals double terminated for north, south, east and west, the polarity poles, and then I'm going to put a level of shavings in just around the bottom here. I'm going to fill that up to about an inch or so above that. Then I'm going to put my copper wire in, which I want to have coming up through the centre spiral that's coming from the bottom, and then I'll put the pipes in with the first holder at the bottom. So I made a slight adjustment. I've just put a layer of aluminium shavings and then the crystals on the top first, so that the crystals aren't at the very base of the build, so that they don't, so they can't fall out of the mix if the resin doesn't reach the very bottom. So I've placed another layer of aluminium shavings on top of that, on top of the crystals, so they're in the north, south, east, west configuration. And I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to push that down, and then we'll do a mix of resin. So I forgot to say, I've added the copper spiral underneath that, and I've got a copper bit coming up to the centre so I can connect it to my main crystal when I connect that in. So now everything's pushed down tightly. I'm going to seal the top of these off with tape, and then I'm going to do a resin mix and we'll start the mix. So I've got my safety gloves on, I've got my mask on, I've just mixed 1000 millilitres, and the ratio it says on here to mix a 2% mix. So I'm going to put in, for 1000 millilitres, 2 ml of hardener catalyst into that, and I've got a syringe there, so 2 ml doesn't seem much, does it? Oh sorry, 1000 millilitres, 20 ml, not 100. So 1000 millilitres is 20 ml at 2%. Okay, so I'm going to mix that. I'm going to mix in this iron oxide mix into the resin. I'm going to put that in first before I put the catalyst in, and then we'll see how it goes. Hopefully that's enough. I don't know if I've got enough resin actually. I might have to order some more, get some more resin, but we'll start it off and see how we go. I've sealed these for now. I'm going to take them off once I put the other spacer on there, so we'll try now. So I'm just mixing some of the iron oxide in. I probably used, well, not too much, 100 grams, no, not even 100 grams. I think there's 500 in here, 500 grams, so probably less than 100. Just seems enough maybe. I shall add more as we go on through the different layers. So I think I'm happy with that now. I'm going to add the catalyst and then we'll start. I'm just going to add 20 ml catalyst. Oh, that was probably a little bit too hard. It's gone everywhere. Give that a mix. And then we'll start the pouring. I'll just give that a second. Okay, here goes. I'm going to pour that in. It might have been a bit too much, but it's got to go to the bottom, so we'll see what happens. It's running down. Come back to you in a sec. So I think that was just enough, 1000 millilitres. I'm now going to put some more shavings on the top of that, put my top spacer in, and I'll come back to you and we'll leave it to cure. Okay, so I've put another layer of aluminium shavings on there, just pressed it down, and now I'm going to put my top spacer in till it dries. Okay, there's my top spacer fitted, and now all I've got to do is wait for it to cure. I'm not sure of the curing time, but I reckon at least half an hour, maybe an hour, and then we'll come back to it. So my Orgonite generator's hardening, but these were the clouds earlier, and just above the house here, look, this is starting to happen. I don't know whether it's just a coincidence or whether it's actually creating something right now, and it's doing a small amount of work. Well, that's after one layer. We'll see what happens. Okay guys, this is part 2 of the video. If you look at the clouds above now, look at that. Over there, it's all opening up. And that's after one layer. So I've placed some more crystals down there. I'm going to put another layer on of shavings, and I'm going to use the rest of this resin. I've ordered some more resin to come tomorrow, so that should arrive, and then I'm going to put some the quartz crystals in with this mix on this layer. Then I'm going to build it up and keep building it up. So I'll probably continue the video tomorrow, but now the sun's coming out. Look, we seem to be clearing the sky above. I don't know why, whether it's this or whether it's just luck, I don't know. So on this layer I've put the rest of those quartz crystals in, and then I've done some crystal chips and some copper strands. Now I'm going to put the other resin in and then mix some more until it's pretty much level on the top, and then we'll come back tomorrow with the new resin. I've chosen some better resin this time. I've had a gallon of it, so that should be tomorrow, so we can continue the build. But the sky above is clearing. It's cloudy over there. Above me it's clearing. So I've poured a litre in, covered everything over there. I'm going to add more filings to the level of that, and then I've got a little bit of resin left. Might use that up just over the top, and then we'll call it a night or a day, because I'm going to enjoy the sun. Hi guys, so this is day 2. The new epoxy resin has arrived. This one's a 50-50 mix, so, and it's a clear mix, so I'm going to try that. This layer I've done copper, and I've put some more quartz crystals in there, and then I'm going to put some iron filings, aluminium iron filings on top of that, and pour the resin in. So I'll come back to you after this one. So I've put a layer of crystals and copper, and I've mixed that together. That was quite good. It's very low odour on this one. It's not like the other polyurethane or resin. So I've just got to wait for that to cure now, and I'll do my next layers. So this is basically it. Just keep building your layers up. When I get to the part with the magnet and the big crystal in the middle, I'll come back to that one. But I've got probably 2 more layers to do, and then we should be done. Okay, so I'll come back to you at the end. So I'm just noticing the clouds now, how it's cleared right above the house, and they've got these strange wispy clouds, which I've never really noticed that formation before. But pretty much blue skies here. It's cloudy over there, sort of in a ring, look, which would suggest that that's actually working before I've completed it. So I'm happy with that result so far. So I've just had 3 planes come over, all putting massive trails down, and I've taken photographs of them, and they seem to have dissolved. I've just doing a test run here while it's half complete, and I've put metal rods coming from the ground going to my central core, and I've watered the grass around it just to earth it while it's still curing there. Obviously when it's in the ground it's going to have a better effect, but I think right now, looking at these skies, it's still a bit wispy around there, but up here it's looking pretty blue. And the 3 lines that they came, all 3 of them came, it's pretty much one after another, laying down 3 lines, and they've all disappeared. They all dissolved away. So hopefully this is actually working. Hi guys, so this is day 3. I'm doing another layer. I've got 2 more layers to do. So I'm doing this layer, and I've got selenite and rose quartz in there, and I've just put a amethyst crystal in the middle, just a spare one I found lying around. I'm going to make a couple of these tower busters. I've put a quartz crystal in the middle, one of these double terminated ones. I'm going to try them, see if that works. So this is nice and hard now, it's set quite nice. So I'm going to do another layer, and then I'm going to put my big magnet on the top of that layer and connect it up to the centre wire, and then probably put a clear layer of resin at the top. And I've mixed all the magnetite powder in with every other layer. Oh, I'm going to put these magnets in as well. So these magnets are going to go in between. I'm going to set them into the resin. Sorry about the state of my hands. I've been to work, I haven't had a wash yet. So I thought I'd jump straight into this before I have my shower, and try and get it finished. It's been clearing the skies as it is through the earthing rods I've used, connecting it to up. But obviously when it's in the ground and it's watered properly, it's going to work a lot better. But I'm pretty sure it's been doing a good job today, helping to clear everything down. It's looking pretty good at the moment. So as you can see, it's not too bad, and they were out in force this morning. Look at that for a strange cloud. So yeah, they were out in force. I've got a photograph, might put that in there this morning. And then it's been a heavy day for everybody today, I think, all around the world, mainly in Britain. It's been pretty bad today. The Air Force have been out in force today, putting loads of layers down. So we're fighting it, we're sticking to it, we're doing it every day. Alright, so I'm going to do this, and then I'll probably video the final layer before we finish it off, and then I'll come back to you. Alright. Evening guys, so this is day 3 now. This is the final one, the final layer, and this is with the magnet attached. It runs all the way down to the bottom with selenite around it. Going to fill it up with the aluminium chips again. These are some TB's tower busters that I made last night, with the quartz crystal in the middle and the aluminium shavings. I'm going to make a couple more there, look, out of this cup. So I'll come back to you once I've done this layer. So guys, that's it. I've done the final layer. There's the crystal embedded. I've made some of these TBs or pucks, whatever you want to call them, that go around 5G towers, or you can plant them around your home or garden for positive energies. So that's it. I've used all the 2 kg of iron filings, aluminium filings. I've got some selenite left, which I'll use for another build. I've got magnetite powder left. So the next stage is to wait for that to cure. So tomorrow we'll get it out of the mould and bury it in the ground and then activate it. But right now the sky is clear, pretty clear, just one tiny cloud over there. So all good, all good. See you later. Hi guys, so this is day 4 and it's now complete. I did have to cut the mould, the container off the bottom. It was proper stuck. So the first layers here, which were the cheaper polyester resins, they seem to shrink a bit, so that was come away a lot easier. This top half didn't shrink at all, which is probably a good thing. So that's the finished thing. I've dug a hole and I've placed in 2 of these busters, and that's just lifting it up off the ground. I'm going to place it in the hole, water it and put the pipes on and see where we go from there. But the skies are pretty clear, so there's only wispy bits. There's a couple of trails over there. See if it clears them out the way, and a couple over there. But today they pretty much haven't done any spraying at all, so we've done all right. Right, so there's the finished product, and I'm going to test it. Obviously when we have chemtrails I'll do some testing videos and let you know how we go on. there we have it. It's planted, and see what happens next. So it'll be the proper test when there's some clouds, but there is a few little bits knocking about. We'll see if they disappear. Right, okay, I'll probably upload that, and then I'll keep a record, a diary of the days when it's really cloudy, and I'll upload some videos. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope it's been educational, instructional, and I hope you go away and make some yourself. I also did do a test with some voltage, and there is a bit of a current running through it, so I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, thank you very much. See you in a bit.